Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about strength, we often envision physical power or the ability to dominate. But true strength, particularly in the context of a strong woman, is far more profound. It's a combination of resilience, competence, and purpose. Today, I want to share with you 7 signs that reveal the strength of a woman who has not only embraced her potential, but also transformed her life into a meaningful pursuit. A strong woman understands that life is a dynamic interplay of circumstances and choices, and she fully embraces her role in shaping her own path. She does not allow herself to be immobilized by blame or paralyzed by regret. Instead, she takes ownership of her experiences, both the triumphs and the setbacks, recognizing that each moment, no matter how challenging, offers an opportunity for growth. This responsibility is not a burden to her, but a testament to her agency and strength. She knows that while external factors can influence her life, the ultimate power to respond and adapt rests within her. Taking responsibility means she resists the temptation to externalize her failures. She does not point fingers or succumb to the idea that life is merely happening to her. Instead, she takes a clear-eyed look at her circumstances and asks herself what she can do to improve them. She confronts the uncomfortable truths about her decisions, habits, and attitudes, knowing that this self-reflection is essential for progress. No, this willingness to look inward is not an act of self-criticism, but a commitment to self-betterment. Owning responsibility also requires the courage to act. A strong woman does not dwell indefinitely in analysis or procrastination. When faced with a problem, she takes the initiative to solve it, even if the path forward is uncertain or daunting. She understands that progress often comes through trial and error, and she accepts that missteps are part of the journey. Rather than fearing failure, she views it as feedback, a stepping stone to greater understanding and competence. In the darkest night can be this far along when the sun rises above the horizon. This sense of ownership extends beyond her personal life. A strong woman acknowledges her impact on others and the wider world. She understands that her actions ripple outward, influencing her family, friends, and community. This awareness deepens her commitment to integrity and accountability. She strives to be a source of support and inspiration, recognizing that her strength can empower those around her. Importantly, she does not confuse taking responsibility with bearing the weight of the world. A strong woman knows her limits and respects them. She recognizes the importance of seeking help when needed and delegating when appropriate. Taking responsibility for her is not about shouldering every burden alone, but about ensuring that her efforts are purposeful and aligned with her values. She tries to control the burdens within her values and not in fear of those burdens, and making the most. In embracing responsibility, a strong woman transforms adversity into opportunity and challenges into lessons. She becomes the author of her story, weaving resilience, courage, and wisdom into every chapter. Her life is a testament to the power of ownership and the profound strength it brings. Emotional mastery is a cornerstone of true strength, and a strong woman exemplifies this through her ability to understand, regulate, and harness her emotions. She knows that emotions are powerful forces, capable of influencing thoughts and actions in profound ways, but she does not allow herself to be governed by them. Instead, she cultivates awareness. Recognizing emotions as signals that provide valuable insight into her inner world and her interactions with others. This awareness is the first step toward mastery, allowing her to pause, reflect, and choose her responses with intention. A strong woman does not suppress her emotions or deny their existence. She acknowledges them fully, whether joy, anger, sadness, or fear, and seeks to understand their origins. This process of introspection enables her to separate the emotion itself from the stories her mind may create around it. For instance, when faced with criticism, she doesn't immediately react defensively or allow herself to spiral into self-doubt. Instead, she examines the feeling, questioning its source and evaluating its validity. This thoughtful approach helps her maintain clarity and prevents her emotions from dictating her behavior. This mastery extends to moments of conflict or challenge where emotions often run high. A strong woman recognizes that reacting impulsively or out of anger rarely leads to productive outcomes. Instead, she practices restraint, giving herself the space to respond in a way that aligns with her values and long-term goals. This does not mean she avoids confrontation. Rather, she approaches it with poise, ensuring her words and actions contribute to resolution rather than escalation. Nonetheless, leadership requires when we shift away from politics to relations rather than escalation. Crucially, emotional mastery also involves the ability to cultivate positive emotions and resilience in the face of adversity. A strong woman understands that life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. Rather than dwelling on negativity, she actively seeks perspectives and practices that foster gratitude, optimism, and hope. This resilience is not about blind positivity, but about choosing to focus on what can be learned or gained even in difficult situations. Empathy is another hallmark of emotional mastery. A strong woman can attune herself to the emotions of others without becoming overwhelmed or losing her sense of self. She listens deeply, offering compassion and understanding while maintaining her own emotional boundaries. This balance allows her to build meaningful connections without sacrificing her emotional well-being. Through self-awareness, intentional responses, and emotional resilience, a strong woman demonstrates that mastery is not about suppressing feelings, but about navigating them with wisdom and grace. This capability allows her to lead a life of purpose, authenticity, and influence. The pursuit of competence is a defining trait of a strong woman, reflecting her commitment to growth, excellence, and self-actualization. She understands that life is not about reaching a fixed state of perfection, but about continually striving to become better, more skilled, and more capable. This drive for competence stems from a deep-seated belief in the value of progress and the transformative power of knowledge and effort. A strong woman approaches learning with curiosity and humility. She does not pretend to have all the answers, but instead embraces the process of discovery. When confronted with a new challenge, she sees it as an opportunity to expand her abilities rather than a threat to her current level of expertise. She is willing to step out of her comfort zone, recognizing that growth often requires discomfort and perseverance. Whether learning a new skill, tackling a complex problem, or navigating unfamiliar territory, she commits herself fully, understanding that competence is built through dedication and practice. Now that strikes me. This pursuit is not driven by vanity or the need for external validation, but by a genuine desire to contribute meaningfully to the world around her. A strong woman takes pride in her ability to do things well, not for the sake of recognition, but because she values the impact her competence can have on others. She knows that by improving herself, she is better equipped to serve her family, community, and the causes she cares about. Her pursuit of competence is therefore deeply intertwined with her sense of purpose and responsibility. Equally important, a strong woman is not deterred by failure. She understands that setbacks and mistakes are inevitable on the path to mastery and sees them as valuable learning experiences. Rather than viewing failure as a reflection of her worth, she analyzes what went wrong, extracts lessons, and applies them moving forward. This resilience allows her to stay focused on her goals and maintain confidence in her ability to grow. And it allows her to stay focused on her ability to grow. She recognizes that competence is multifaceted. It is not limited to professional or technical expertise, but extends to emotional intelligence, interpersonal skills, and self-discipline. She strives to develop these areas with the same vigor, knowing that true competence encompasses the ability to navigate complex human dynamics and maintain balance in her personal and professional life. A strong woman's pursuit of confidence is a testament to her belief in potential, her own and that of others. She embodies the idea that life's greatest achievements are not handed to us, but earned through persistent effort, thoughtful reflection, and an unwavering commitment to self-improvement. Boundary setting is a vital expression of strength and self-respect, and a strong woman understands its importance in maintaining healthy relationships and a balanced life. She recognizes that boundaries are not barriers meant to isolate or exclude. Rather, they are frameworks that define what is acceptable and respectful in her interactions with others. End quote. Scripture. Salvation boundaries will not acceptable and respectful in her interactions with others. These boundaries allow her to preserve her sense of identity, protect her emotional well-being, and cultivate relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. A strong woman establishes boundaries with clarity and confidence. She knows her values, priorities, and limits, and she communicates them assertively but respectfully. This requires a deep understanding of herself, as well as the courage to advocate for her needs. She does not shy away from expressing when something is not working for her, whether in a personal relationship, a professional setting, or any other sphere of her life. By doing so, she sets the tone for how she expects to be treated. Boundary setting is also about consistency. A strong woman understands that boundaries are only effective when they are upheld, even when doing so is uncomfortable or unpopular. She resists the temptation to compromise her principles for the sake of pleasing others or avoiding conflict. This consistency sends a clear message. She values herself and will not tolerate behavior that undermines her self-worth or violates her principles. A strong woman's boundaries are rooted in self-awareness and respect for others. She does not set them arbitrarily or out of spite, but as a means to foster healthier dynamics. For instance, she might limit the time and energy she spends on relationships that drain her while investing more in those that nurture and uplift her. This balance ensures that her boundaries are not just about protecting herself, but also about creating space for more meaningful connections. Second piece of advice. Boundary setting also extends to how she manages her time, energy, and resources. A strong woman is selective about where she directs her efforts, ensuring they align with her goals and values. She understands the importance of saying no when necessary, recognizing that overcommitting or sacrificing her well-being for others often leads to resentment and burnout. And so, the fundamentals of leadership are not just about skill or leadership. She respects the boundaries of others with the same diligence she applies to her own. She listens and responds with understanding when someone communicates their limits, fostering an environment of mutual trust and respect. This reciprocity strengthens her relationships and demonstrates her belief in the importance of autonomy and individuality. Fuible y libre. Through clear and thoughtful boundary setting, a strong woman creates a life characterized by respect, balance, and integrity, enabling her to thrive while inspiring those around her to do the same. Authenticity and vulnerability is one of the most profound expressions of strength, and a strong woman embraces it with grace and courage. She understands that vulnerability is not a weakness to be hidden, but a fundamental part of being human, an avenue through which genuine connections and personal growth are made. By allowing herself to be seen as she truly is, without pretense or fear of judgment, she creates a space of authenticity that inspires trust and fosters deeper relationships. A strong woman is not afraid to acknowledge her imperfections or share her struggles. She does not feel compelled to wear a mask of invincibility or project an image of perfection. Instead, she recognizes that embracing her flaws and being open about her challenges is a demonstration of self-acceptance and confidence. Instead, the quote, takes courage to admit when she doesn't have all the answers or when she's feeling overwhelmed, but she understands that doing so invites support and understanding from those around her. This authenticity allows her to build meaningful relationships grounded in mutual respect and empathy. When she shows vulnerability, she communicates that she values honesty and is willing to trust others with her true self. This act of openness often encourages others to do the same, creating a cycle of trust and emotional intimacy. Whether in friendships, family bonds, or professional settings, her willingness to be vulnerable lays the foundation for deeper, more authentic connections. A strong woman also understands the importance of discernment in vulnerability. While she values authenticity, she is mindful of when, where, and with whom she shares her innermost thoughts and feelings. She recognizes that not everyone has earned the right to see her at her most vulnerable, and that emotional boundaries are crucial for maintaining her sense of safety and self-respect. Her vulnerability is not indiscriminate, but thoughtful and intentional. but in the way of being, for example. She is autonomous in many ways, but thoughtful and intentional. Being authentic in vulnerability also requires her to face the fear of judgment and rejection. A strong woman accepts that not everyone will understand or appreciate her openness, but she does not let this deter her. She knows that living authentically is more important than seeking approval, and that her worth is not determined by others' perceptions. This resilience allows her to remain true to herself, even in the face of criticism or misunderstanding. By embracing vulnerability as a source of strength, a strong woman demonstrates profound self-awareness and courage. She shows that being human means embracing all aspects of oneself, the joys, the fears, the triumphs, and the struggles, and that true authenticity lies in living a life aligned with her deepest truths. Through this, she not only empowers herself, but also inspires others to do the same. Vision for purpose is the driving force that shapes a strong woman's actions and decisions, providing her with a sense of direction and meaning. She understands that life without purpose is like a ship adrift at sea, and she refuses to let her days be dictated by randomness or external pressures. Instead, she aligns her choices with a vision that reflects her values, aspirations, and unique contributions to the world. This vision is not born from fleeting desires or superficial goals. It stems from deep introspection and self-awareness. A strong woman takes the time to reflect on what truly matters to her, what inspires her, and what legacy she hopes to leave behind. She asks herself hard questions about her priorities, motivations, and the kind of life she wants to create. This clarity of purpose serves as her North Star, guiding her through both triumphs and trials. A few years later, her book Triumphs and Trials. A strong woman's vision is not static. It evolves as she grows and gains new insights. She is flexible enough to adapt her goals to changing circumstances while remaining rooted in her core values. This adaptability ensures that her purpose remains relevant and meaningful, even as her life takes unexpected turns. She sees setbacks not as reasons to abandon her vision, but as opportunities to refine it, strengthening her resolve and sharpening her focus. Her purpose is not limited to personal success. It often encompasses a desire to make a positive impact on others. Whether through her career, family, community, or a cause she holds dear, she seeks to create a ripple effect of change. She understands that her actions, no matter how small, contribute to a larger narrative of growth and progress. This sense of contribution fuels her motivation, even when the path is challenging or uncertain. So here's one set of clues to growth: faith and charity or absence, and you avoid the narrative of growth and progress. A strong woman also recognizes that pursuing her vision requires discipline and perseverance. She does not rely solely on inspiration to keep her moving forward. Instead, she commits to consistent effort, building habits and systems that support her goals. She balances ambition with patience, knowing that meaningful progress often takes time and sustained effort. Crucially, her vision for purpose empowers her to say no to distractions and detours that do not align with her values. She is discerning about where she invests her time, energy, and resources, ensuring that her actions are in service of her greater mission. This focus allows her to lead a life of intention, free from the chaos of aimlessness or the weight of unnecessary obligations. Through her unwavering commitment to purpose, a strong woman exemplifies what it means to live a life of meaning and integrity. Her vision inspires not only her own growth, but also serves as a beacon for others, proving that purpose-driven living is a source of strength, fulfillment, and transformation.